You must be tired, exhausted even, of not understanding us, the Portuguese. I know I'm tired of hearing you say you're tired. I'm going to do 2 things for you today. Number 1, I'll introduce you to someone who will turn on all the light bulbs around you. Even if you are already able to have a conversation in Portuguese. This has happened to a Dutch unschooler of mine. After she met this person, things started making a lot more sense. Number 2, I'll also share with you my most genius idea to help you sound more Portuguese. So one thing is understanding us. Another very important thing is being understood. This is a particularly good tip for those of you who already know some Spanish. Yes, I said Spanish. I'm talking about a very simple object which you're very likely to have at home in your very kitchen and which costs less than 1 cent. I also have a very special invite, but first, bem-vindos à Language Unschool. Eu sou Catarina. I help you find your voice in European Portuguese by listening first. Now, who is this special person I want you to meet? The Queen of Portuguese. I'm not talking about politics. We don't have a monarchy in Portugal. We used to a long time ago. But the language, on the other hand, does. Now, I've come up with this concept because it's a key factor that helps you understand why and what it is we do not pronounce in Portuguese. So the Queen is a syllable, the part of the word that we will pronounce more clearly. I normally say the Queen is hiding in the penultimate syllable, the one before the last. Now, if you don't know what a syllable is, try saying the word in a robotic way. So, portada, portada, casa. Now, what do you notice from these 2 examples? That the A's are different. The first one, where the Queen is open, portada, whereas the other one is closed. A few more examples. Entrada, entrada, amarelo. I normally make this hand gesture, which my unschoolers always make fun of me, but I know it helps. So why can we afford to say obrigado instead of obrigado? Well, there's an important thing to know about the Queen. She's a bit biased about certain letters, okay? Z-I-L-R-U. If she sees them at the end of the word, you better be sure that is the part of the word you will hear the most. Arroz, for example, you hardly hear that first A. So an unschooler of mine took a while to understand his mother-in-law was saying arroz, rice, since he couldn't hear that first A. Conheci, conheci, this is why you don't hear the E. Conheci, hardly pronounced. So when you know this, pattern alert, okay, you will be more at ease, I hope, when you misunderstand a não me percebi for a não me percebi, which is kind of awkward, the second example. Now, this is when meaning comes to the rescue. If you know what is expected, it makes more sense. Final. You should definitely watch my L video for this one. Caminhar, caminhar. Bebeu, because it's important to know if he drinks, present tense, bebe, or if he drank, past tense, bebeu. Okay, we know the Queen likes the penultimate syllable. Clear on that. She finds it comfortable. We also know she has a preference for those 5 letters at the end of words. But above all that, she won't say no to a hat. I'm talking about accents. We have 4 of them in Portuguese. Agudo, circunflexo, grave, útil. Now, if they come above a vowel, I, O, then you know the Queen is very helpfully telling you where she is. Basically, she has moved places in the word and is warning you about it. You and me. Therefore, do not ignore the accents. The accent rule actually overrules the other 2 rules. Got that? Now, that's why we don't say facile, but we say fácil. People might not understand you, and we don't want that. So that was the Queen. Now let's get to that cheap yet almighty object that will save your pronunciation. Senhoras e senhores, I present you the palito. Now I usually say that in order to speak Portuguese, you have to close your mouth. This is the object you need for that. But one thing is understanding that conceptually, another thing is actually doing it. So, o palito helps you feel what it's like to do just that. And why is this important for people who know Spanish? Because Spanish is a democracy, of course, meaning every syllable has the same power within the word. So without this, it's very tempting to see this word that looks very much like Spanish and say comida. Whereas when you do this, comida, it just falls. So that's why I have a second one, and I cannot fail because I don't have another one. You're reminded then to keep your mouth closed. Comida. Para. Quería. Cría. Cansado. Cansado. Bebida. Bebida. Tentado. Tentado. Andado. I'm not claiming these words are Spanish, okay? I didn't check. Andado. Coberto. Coberto. Até. Até. Embora. Embora. Ugh. Now, as for that special invitation I mentioned at the start of the video, I have created a brand new Listen to Portuguese Masterclass with everything you need to know in order to understand naturally spoken Portuguese. You can register in the link below. And now that you know about the Queen and the palito, you need to put in the hours listening to or watching native content, unless, okay, maybe you need to watch this video here as well. Sorry, it's a conservative language. The Queen is powerful on her own, but, we speak in sentences, not in isolated words. So, my King video will explain a lot more. Obrigada por verem, obrigada por me ouvirem. Até à próxima.